of -2 to +2 degrees. And now you're up to date on News Talk.
Off the ball. This is News Talk.
Well, as you might expect, we're talking Kobe Bryant on the show this evening. Just over 24 hours on from his shocking death over in California, John Gonzalez from The Ringer is going to join us around 7:30. Monday Night Rugby after 8 o'clock. Keith Wood and Andy Dunn on the way. Six Nations 2020 very much here. Irish team to be named tomorrow. Already the leaks have started. Pat Nevin is along on the football show, plus Kieran Donaghy on the joys of Dublin Kerry. 53106 is the text number. We are at Off the Ball on Twitter. Nathan Murphy is here. Richie McCormack is here. Gents, you're very welcome.
How are you?
There is lots going on. Obviously, it's you can't really start with anything else but Kobe Bryant. Shocking news. Helicopter crash obviously is utterly unpredictable, and when it suddenly arrives out of nowhere, everybody's halted in their tracks. America today seems to be utterly halted in its tracks, like a national day of mourning. The scale of the reaction is absolutely enormous.
Yeah, it just shows the level of fame and that Kobe Bryant had to deal with. Like 20 years, just saying that because of the amount of matches that they play in basketball, like 100 times a year for 20 years, he's on television and he's the best of the best. So you're talking about an absolute superstar who like transcended, I think, the world. But in America, you're watching the coverage and like it is up there with like Michael Jackson for an awful lot of Americans. Like that is the level of fame that Kobe Bryant had. And I think like the very fact that his daughter was on the helicopter as well just takes it to a different level because like, geez, 13 years of age, going to a basketball match.
Yeah, he was very much invested in her future, and that's essentially what they were doing aboard the helicopter. And for that to be the reason behind ultimately the crash, it's a lot to try and comprehend, I guess.
9 people dead in total. So Kobe Bryant, his daughter Gianna, Gigi, on the way to either a match or her training session. So he was, as you said, Richie, very invested in her career as well. It seems helicopters were a massive feature of his career. He took helicopters to every game. He lived in Orange County, maybe 40 miles away from downtown LA, so he was taking helicopters on a very routine basis.
Like travel for them, like would you talk about the multiple games per week, like they're going from different points of the country back and forth. In America, obviously, as we know, is an enormous country, so there's a hell of a lot of travel involved, and as you say, it would have been just exceptionally routine. The only problem was, obviously, there was fog and they got special clearance to fly on that particular evening, and it probably shouldn't have been given.
There's audio coming through from the flight and a conversation with the controller somewhere, and one of the last things that's said to them is, "We think you're a bit too low." And literally seconds later, they're lost on radar. So the fog obviously was the mitigating circumstance.
A bit too low for tracking. So obviously the fog was obvious and there were some issues, and they'd been circling around for a little while. And then when they started the journey again, they asked air traffic control to track them, and air traffic control come back saying, "You're too low for tracking."
Okay.
And that's where, unfortunately, the recording ends.
Yeah. So we'll talk to John Gonzalez. Obviously, look, on the court, it's the most extraordinary career. 20 years straight from high school in Philadelphia. As people now know, it's one of these kind of tradition-changing developments that this high school kid can mix it with the pros, can skip college. LeBron James talked about it being a light bulb moment for him as a 13, 14-year-old. Oh, hang on, we can actually do this. And then the NBA realised, okay, this is actually very doable. We can get players straight away, and that became far more common. And then 3 championships by the age of 23. All of us of a certain age remembered the LeBron Shaq team. The NBA was often on TG Caher around that period. It was on like the highlights, and LeBron and Shaq, that LA Lakers team, were very famous, very cool. Jack Nicholson and the gang courtside.
I remember
were a big
constantly,
deal.
I remember his drafting. I think it was during the time that the NBA would have been on Channel 4 a lot, and they had a Saturday morning magazine program and all that. So he was the story when that was being covered at the time. The fact that he was coming straight out of high school and Charlotte drafted him and then bounced on to the Lakers.
Yeah. So
I remember at London 2012 going to watch the Dream Team, the second coming of the Dream Team, on a couple of occasions. I remember they played France in, I think it was the first match. Tony Parker was captaining the French, and then went to watch them again against Spain. And like, obviously, in a way, you didn't feel like you saw them at their peak because it was just all so easy.
Yeah.
But LeBron James and Kobe Bryant were at a different level, I think, of fame to almost everybody else at the Olympic Games. And I was in the main stadium in London the night of, might have been the 200 metres final, and the two of them arrived in, somewhere around the media centre, but also where all the other sports people who got to go, who'd been at the Olympics, were. and they walk through. You could see them coming, team jerseys on from about 100 metres, and everybody just stands still and stares.
Yeah.
All these other Olympians from all these countries around the world are all like, oh my God.
It's a different level
my
of fame to
God.
us, yeah. Because look, my basketball credentials are not great, but reading different pieces, it would seem the common things being said about him certainly is like intensity and work ethic and that he was relentless. They're such cliched words that they're easy to brush past, but they extend to things like him getting up at 3-4 in the morning to train. He was that kind of obsessive and trying to build up a level of practice that others simply couldn't compete with. Even at the Olympics, when America were a shoo-in, he was training religiously, and other teammates who wouldn't be exposed to him on a routine basis were looking at him going, oh my God, is this what it takes to be Kobe Bryant? Okay. And they started doing that, and it seems like those around him were inspired. So there's that, there's the work ethic, and then it seems there was no real weakness to his game. Like Ronan outside was saying, if Jordan was a 9 out of 10 in everything, then Kobe Bryant is an 8 or an 8.5 out of 10 in everything. Most players have some kind of weakness. Bryant was this all-rounder, incredible versatility in attack, and then ferocious desire to win, like could be quite cold with teammates. Obviously him and Shaq didn't get on, certainly initially.
Only really made amends in the last couple of years.
Is it only last couple of years?
Quite recently, yeah. There was an interview doing the rounds of them sitting pretty much opposite each other, and even then, the body language is still a bit frosty, but they'd, by all accounts, made up over the last year or two.
So we'll talk to John Gonzalez. There's lots to talk about, certainly on the court and off the court as well. Obviously, the allegations in Colorado have been talked about a little bit over the last 24 hours, and it does seem Barack Obama referenced this as well. And it's not every former sports person who goes on to win an Oscar. It does seem he was cultivating a pretty interesting retirement. And so we'll ask John Gonzalez about all of that.
Well, Barack Obama's missus just won a Grammy last night, so anything's possible.
Did she?
For what?
Best spoken word album.
Her audiobook?
Michelle Obama, yeah.
I keep thinking about downloading it, but never quite bring myself to
Now a
hand over it.
Grammy-winning audiobook, Joe.
It's one of the cheaper audiobooks. Audiobooks are incredibly expensive. You notice this?
Yeah.
Nuts stuff. Like Harry Potter's, as an example, I guess because Stephen Fry is reading them, are like 30 quid.
They are. There's Borrow Box is where you're able to get them on loan. It's essentially like a library system where you're able to get audiobooks on loan. The kids have been really good for them, actually.
Is this Borrow Box or Steel Box?
Borrow Box.
No, this
It's
is
an official
it's
app.
legit.
run-
Yeah.
But is it not run by the libraries in Ireland?
Yeah.
So you can just go and get your audiobooks. So if you're a member of a library,
Yeah.
you can go and get the audiobooks for free.
There you go.
In what kind of form? CD form?
No, audiobook, it's available as a streamable thing. Yeah.
Oh, very good.
So they've had like Harry Potter.
Would it not be a bit strange listening to Harry Potter as an audiobook, all through the one voice?
I'd say Stephen Fry can mix it up and give different voices.
Is that not true of any novel, though?
Yeah, but because it's an audiobook rather than
I'm just going to the
voices
shops,
in
Diana
your
said.
head.
I listened to Pride and Prejudice recently on audiobook.
God. Peak Molloy.
Why?
I think it was
Why?
like...
You met this man.
No, yeah, but like
I hadn't read it and I thought, well, I just want to, you know... I don't know why. Okay?
Jane Austen, overrated.
You would have to say it survived the test of time. I mean, that's a starting point. No? Curiosity. Even Curiosity. Can we put down that? And I think it was like free with Apple Books.
Oh, there we go.
Curiosity
Okay.
and-
No, free. I'll go free.
And 100% wanting an opportunity to make sure he could mention this on air.
How could I have brought... How could I have...
You found a way.
He brought up Michelle Obama and
you
the
were
Grammys.
going to find a way no matter what.
The point is...
At least that's somewhat, timely.
The point is...
Grammy last night.
point is that the author, famous...
Jane Austen?
English actress Kate Beckinsale did the voice for it. And she had a brilliant different voice for every character. So I'd say Stephen Fry could pull that off. To the point where really quickly...
What's her Mr. Darcy like?
Well, obviously I'm not going to dream of doing that now.
I think you should.
So I think Stephen Fry could pull it off. Michelle Obama, yeah, it's one of the more affordable, less grotesquely priced audiobooks. I think it's still there. It's like €13. I'm not doing.
The only audiobook you actually do need is I, Partridge by Alan Partridge.
Well, I'm sure. Do any of these presidential or First Lady books ever reveal anything interesting? Like David Cameron has a book out recently. I haven't heard a thing about it. I presume it's a complete whitewash of everything.
Nothing porcine in it, I'd imagine.
It's gone over my head, sorry.
It's probably for the best, Joe.
Okay.
I just wasn't sure
Sorry.
what the first reference was.
Sorry, I think I know now. Well, I doubt that's in it.
I'd like if it was.
Are any of the presidential books good?
I don't know. I can't say I've ever gone near them for any great material.
53106 if they are. It'd be great if someone just actually told the truth and said, yeah, then me and
There's probably a state
Gorbachev had a
secrets
row.
act.
Yeah, just all that kind of stuff.
Text your favourite quotes from a presidential book. 53106.
Yes, exactly. So you are starting, obviously, with tributes coming in for Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, as you mentioned, from across the breadth of the sporting world and indeed beyond, following the tragic passing of Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gianna, the LA Lakers legend was among 9 passengers that perished in a helicopter crash in Calabasas in California yesterday. He was just 41 while Gianna was 13. The son of NBA veteran Joe Bryant, Kobe was drafted to the Charlotte Hornets straight from high school in 1996 before being traded to the Lakers. During his 20-year career in Los Angeles, he won 5 NBA championships and was an 18-time All-Star. Fellow Lakers great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar played against Bryant's father, Joe, and paid this tribute.
And it's hard for me to understand now how this is affecting Joe and his wife. So to Kobe's family, I want to send my most sincere and heartfelt regrets and prayers, and my thoughts are with you guys. Kobe was an incredible family man. He loved his wife and daughters. He was an incredible athlete and a leader in a lot of ways. He inspired a whole generation of young athletes. He was one of the first ones to leave high school and come into the NBA and do so well, dominating the game and becoming one of the best scorers that the Los Angeles Lakers has ever seen.
I'm not an avid basketball viewer, but he seemed a serious individual in the literal sense of the word, says Sean. Didn't seem to be a showboater, more like the ultimate pro. We'll talk to John Gonzalez in about 15 minutes' time about Kobe Bryant. Meanwhile, Australian Open, Rich?
Yeah, Nick Kyrgios says he was motivated by the memory of Bryant's passing during his Australian Open defeat to Rafa Nadal today. The Australian wore an LA Lakers jersey emblazoned with Bryant's name and number before and after his 4-set loss to the top-seeded Spaniard. And a subdued Kyrgios says he was hit hard by the news of Bryant's passing.
I mean, if anything, it motivated me. If you look at the things he stood for and, what he wanted to be remembered by, I felt like, if anything, it helped me tonight. When I was down a break in the fourth, I was definitely thinking about it, and I fought back, and, I thought Rafa was really good tonight, played too good. I mean, I had chances. I was a couple of points away from, the third set and the fourth set, so it happens. But yeah, I mean, if anything, it helped me today.
Staying in Melbourne, Nadal will play 5th seed Dominic Thiem in the quarter-finals. Thiem beat Gael Monfils in 3 sets today. Elsewhere, in the men's 4th round, Stan Wawrinka overcame the challenge of Daniil Medvedev in 5 sets to set up a meeting with the 7th seed Alexander Zverev. Zverev beat Andrei Rublev in straights. 2016 women's champion Angelique Kerber's out, beaten in 3 sets by Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova. The Russian will face the 2-time Grand Slam winner Garbiñe Muguruza in the last 8. Muguruza breezed past Kiki Burton 6-3, 6-3. And the 4th seed Simona Halep will play Annette Kontaveit in the quarterfinals after beating Elise Mertens in straight sets.
The people of Ireland, lads, are coming to us for help right now on 2 fronts.
Okay.
First one from Mary.
Hi, Mary.
Good evening. Update on Dancing on Ice in capital letters, please. Well, Mary, I mean, never has the show been so well positioned to do that. Nathan Murphy
Literally.
travelled over to London, I presume it's London,
Just outside London, Hemel Hempstead,
last night
Bovington.
to be there
They can't name Anton over there, can they?
in person for Dancing on Ice to support Chemical Man. Brought the Mayo flag, I saw.
Well, Kev has the Mayo flag there permanently.
Okay.
He handed it to me.
Hold this, pretend you brought it. Okay,
Yes.
done. So, and weirdly, you were saying actually Kobe Bryant's death before I think it was announced.
You do get sense watching the coverage in America that Kobe Bryant's death is like, in 20 years it'll be like JFK's passing it. Where were you
Yeah.
when it was announced? Well, where I was, Dancing on Ice had just finished. Kevin Kilbane had just been saved. And the MC/comedian who was the warm-up guy was saying, thank you very much, everyone, safe home. Just to let you know, by the way, just reading here that Kobe Bryant died. I was going over to congratulate Kev. I was like, is that serious? It's a bit of a weird way to...
Not the most solemn way to throw it
No.
out there. So look, we might talk about this a bit later on, but for Mary, who may even be wondering, has Kevin made it through?
Kevin has made it through. Yeah, it was a brilliant day. Long day.
Yeah.
In studio from 4 o'clock all the way through to 8 o'clock. Found myself, and this is not where you want to be in life. If you're on the television, it's the one thing you don't want happening. That you find yourself sat beside 2 good-looking lads from Love Island.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
How did you look next to them?
Great. Well, just like this. Heavily bearded and overweight.
Oh, dear.
Even more so than normal.
Who do you know who you're sitting beside?
Curtis,
Yeah,
going out with Maura.
correct.
Met Maura.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, very nice. Met John Barrowman.
The judge?
Give him both barrels. Because he's been giving Kilban loads of stick.
That's right, yeah.
And, you know, I think himself and Kilban get on quite well, but he's just not reflected on air, so he's been a little bit harsher. So I thought he was in trouble last night because the standard is insane.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think increasingly you need to have skated before you go near that show, which Kev hasn't.
No, well, considering that 4 months ago he'd never skated and could barely dance, how far he's come along is very impressive.
Didn't watch the show in full. Obviously, I was keen to see you in the crowd, and the WhatsApp group took care of that box. The thing I recorded through, got to Kev's routine. He was doing "Should I Stay or Should I Go?" Kind of a punchy tune, and their big criticism of Kev was that actually it was a very smooth, nice kind of a skating routine, whereas they wanted a bit more punch with the beat of the song.
Well, so they set them a challenge this week that you had to do a spin.
I can't believe I'm saying these words.
You had to spin.
You watched Love Island routinely, Joe. I can well believe it.
You would have been well impressed there last night. There was about 8 of them there.
Yeah.
All of the lads from Love Island were there last night. So you had to do a spin, and Kev did his spin right at the start. Okay. And I almost felt he was so happy with himself that he kind of lost his concentration.
Job done.
So he got the lowest score. And I'm thinking, here we go. Could be a late night. Bit of commiserating. No. And it's strange when you're in there because obviously it's set up for television, so the sound is perfect if you're watching at home, but when you're in the aircraft hangar, as it is,
it's all echoey, is it?
You can barely hear what's being said, and everyone's chanting and shouting, and I'm just roaring abuse at people as loud as I possibly can. So you can't tell who's been kept in and who's been got rid of until they turn the light off. So there's 3 left, who were the 3 you thought might be 2 of them were going to be in the skate off. And next thing, my wife was with me. She's up, jumping around, cheering. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And Kev is safe. Didn't even have to go through this.
I'm sure he'd be in the dance-off.
I think he thought he was going to be in the dance-off himself. But yeah, which means that the people like him.
He comes across very well on it.
I was suggesting that we could go down remember the time the Wolf Tones won like Best Song of the Century on the BBC because it was hijacked by the Irish people.
Well, they cracked the top 10 there again recently.
But could we do that with Kilban?
Absolutely.
That actually, if every Irish person over there...
I think everybody in the country has an Irish relative in the UK. Get on to them, say, give Kilban a vote, will you? He's terrible. Like, he's brutal. He really needs your help.
I was trying to convince your man Curtis sitting beside me to give Kev a few of his votes.
Hang on, were you chatting to Curtis?
Of course.
What?
Oh, I'm only going to sit there and not say hello.
Unbelievable.
It is, right.
How was he? Be honest. Be honest.
Like, good-looking lad.
As a person. Jesus.
Come here, this is the question.
Fine.
This is the
too exciting.
$7 million question.
Okay.
So you're asking your relatives across the board, will the calls cost more because Brexit's coming in on Friday? Is it 31st, whatever that is?
You can do it on an app.
But like you have to be in contact with the relatives to get them to do it.
On WhatsApp then. You don't have to talk. None of us know none of us know our relatives in the UK well enough to actually talk to them.
I was trying to download the app over there, and because I have an Irish phone, you can't even do that. No. So I was saying to your man Curtis, I was like, here,
give him a few euros.
Give him a few, and he's like, I'm going to give all 5 to Maura because she's in the exact same position.
We will come back to this very important topic.
All right, sorry.
Okay. Yeah. The other question I want to get to. Hi guys, a random question, but as sports people, she calls us. We're most certainly not.
Definitely not me.
Can you please let me know if it's okay to have raw eggs? My 15-year-old's in training at the moment. He assures me, actually he doesn't say he, could be a she. My 15-year-old's in training at the moment, assures me it's okay, but I'm not sure. Thanks, a clueless mom. I would not like to give advice on that. I've seen it in Rocky.
That's my extent of the raw egg thing.
But if you were baking a cake, is there not raw egg often in cake?
That you cook.
No, but like before you cook the cake.
Stop talking.
Before you cook the cake.
Stop talking.
That you cook.
You then cook it.
What do you think baking is?
You then cook it.
Yeah, but...
No, stop.
What do you think baking is?
Put the shovel down.
No.
You stop. You
Dig
cook.
up.
No, I'm definitely...
Stop.
It's definitely something where you eat raw egg.
Jesus. You cook it. Here. Here's what Google says.
People eat raw egg all the time, don't they?
They don't slather it on a cake.
Not in a cake.
No, but when you're whisking it up.
Yeah.
You then cook the...
No.
How are you not making this connection?
Seriously, dude, stop. It's over. Just admit defeat on this one. You cook it. Whatever you're whisking, you don't cook the egg before you put it in, but obviously you cook the whole thing.
You're not chopping up a fried egg and putting it in the cake, but still, it gets cooked. Nathan, what's wrong with you? Of
There's
what?
definitely a raw egg mixture that finds itself into something that I end up eating.
JP, can you check if there's a raw egg cake thing?
Like there's
now, according to Google,
some sort of salmonella issue.
According to Google, and this is according to Google, this is not medical advice, this is not from us. You have signed your disclosure, texter. Yeah, there's a disclosure signed if you're going to continue to listen to this. Raw eggs do have all the same benefits as cooked eggs. However, protein absorption is lower from raw eggs. That would suggest you're better off having the cooked eggs. Anyway, here's the underlined bit from JP. Well, most concerning is the small risk of raw eggs contaminated with bacteria, leading to salmonella. So I'd say your 15-year-old can get by with cooked eggs.
So there's more protein in the cooked egg?
That's what that seems to suggest. So but why would you do
easier
raw eggs? Just, Rocky style, crack the eggs, go.
Save you the chance of getting the perfect poach.
Look, tell the 15-year-old you're cooking the eggs. End of. Like, come on. Is this
what's the 15-year-old doing?
Yeah, exactly.
How many eggs are involved here?
Is this 15-year-old at the Olympics in a couple of months? Come on.
Tell them just have a cake with raw egg in it, like I do all the time.
There you go. There you go. I guarantee you the 15-year-old at another time is then eating sweets and crisps and not...
I'm just imagining this, like, do you know the way you have a chocolate fondant where you cut it open and it's like all squishy and comes out the middle? I'm imagining some cake of yours, you open it up and out flops like 4 raw eggs.
What went wrong?
We have to move on past the raw egg situation. So, Richie, where are we going next?
Bournemouth entertain Arsenal this evening in the last of this week's FA Cup 4th round ties. Republic of Ireland goalkeeper Mark Travers starts in goal for the hosts tonight. Kick-off is at 8. The draw is being made at the moment. We'll bring up to date on that. Chelsea, I've just seen, will play Shrewsbury or Liverpool in round 5. Jurgen Klopp's decision to leave Liverpool's FA Cup 4th round replay with Shrewsbury to under-23 manager Neil Critchley has been met with support and derision. A much-changed Liverpool side threw away a 2-goal lead to draw 2-2 with the League One side yesterday. It means Liverpool face a replay in the middle of their supposed winter break on February 4th at Anfield, and Klopp explained his reasoning for abandoning that game essentially after yesterday's draw.
In April 2019 we got a letter from the Premier League, I think, where they ask us to respect the winter break, not to organize international friendlies or not to organize competitive games, and we respect that. So I said the boys already 2 weeks ago that we will have a winter break. So it means we will not be there. It will be the kids who play that game, because you cannot deal with us like nobody cares about it. I know that not very popular, but that's the way I see it. And how I said, the Premier League asked us to respect the winter break. That's what we do. If then the FA doesn't respect it, we cannot change that. But we will not be there.
Does that mean you won't be there as well?
Yeah.
I can't believe he's not going. I mean, I totally get the kids are playing, the lads need a break. But for him, even, he's going on holidays, apparently, is the reason?
So he says that he had discussed this in advance with the owners, that if there was a draw, that the team were taking the break no matter what.
And they said, it's Shrewsbury, it'll be grand. And now the reality is here, they're saying, yeah, Jurgen, we kind of need you to be there.
Well, whatever about the players, fine. You can debate that, and there's other priorities, and the FA and the Premier League have screwed this up, and if he wants to put out a reserve team which should be able to do the job at home,
and
fine.
he more or less did yesterday anyway. It'd be like 4 changes. I think,
but you're the manager. You can't just say, I'm not turning up. Like, this isn't comparable to the Aston Villa game where they had another match the very next day.
In the Middle East.
Where it just wasn't possible. Yeah. You can't just go, maybe football managers are working differently now, but you can't just go, I'm not turning up to the match. I'm on holidays that week.
Where is he going on holidays?
Well, he used to like to go skiing.
That suggests probably Europe.
It's kind of insulting as well to the players who are going to play.
It's terrible. Come back the morning of your holiday and fly out straight away that night.
Go into the dressing room and say, lads,
it's Shrewsbury.
What you can do.
It's Shrewsbury.
He's just acting out what every other manager wants to do with the FA Cup now.
Shrewsbury.
Yeah.
There's championship sides feeling second strings with routine in that competition.
He's got this wrong.
He could leave.
He rarely gets it wrong, but he's got this wrong.
I agree with you. He could leave the preparation to Neil Critchley, do all the prep. I'll fly in and give the speech beforehand. Be there to watch the players. You owe them to watch them as well, you know.
Any texts in, Joe?
No, nothing
Rescuing
really. Nothing really. Oh, actually there was, to be fair. Somebody said there's raw egg in tiramisu. It's fine for everyone except pregnant people, eggs pasteurised. Eggs pasteurised important, by the way. Although it turns out that's a false alarm. The tiramisu is eventually cooked. So you were absolved, but then unabsolved. Sorry.
Don't be looking at me just because it comes out of the fridge.
Is that the same person?
No, JP checked the text. Raw eggs and a whiskey sour. There you go.
Yes.
Done it myself.
Not good.
I didn't know. This was a couple of years ago.
Yeah, white thing, is it?
I got a whiskey sour. I don't know, is this everywhere? I don't usually get a whiskey sour. I was in some fancy pubs at Whiskey Sour, and I didn't really know what was going to happen. But your man takes out an egg and cracks an egg and drops it into the glass, and I thought, oh, that seemed fine. It was nice, in fact.
Oh no, I remember I was in.
I love that. I just love it. That's fine.
I'm still here. Lads, is Nathan talking about raw eggs and carbonara? Either way, get back to sport from Brennan Leaksup.
It ends up being cooked in the carbonara if you're doing it right.
Nathan doesn't understand that yet.
Listen, I think there's a lot of texts coming in agreeing with me here.
Hi lads, when I was growing up in the 80s, my mother gave us raw egg, honey and milk all mixed up in a mug before school every morning. Yum.
Why did she hate you?
The salmonella outbreak at the time put an end to it, says Con in Limerick. I'd say it did.
Damn you and Weena Curry.
All right, get back to sports, says Bren. It's going to be sport all the way for the next 2.5 hours. Don't worry, Bren.
We'll not talk about eggs. 6 Munster players have committed their futures to the province. Prop Stephen Archer, last season's Young Player of the Year Dan Goggin. They've signed contract extensions until 2022. 24-year-old prop Liam O'Connor has also signed a 2-year extension. And Academy trio Liam Coombs, Alex McHenry and Jack O'Sullivan will be promoted to the senior ranks at the start of next season. While 4 Irish internationals have been named on the long list for this season's European Player of the Year award, Ulster's free-scoring scrum half John Cooney is joined by Ulster trio Gary Ringrose, Jordan Larmour and Tyg Furlong. Also nominated is Ulster's South African back row Marcel Coetzee. The 20-man list will be reduced to 5 in early May, with the winner of the Anthony Foley Memorial Trophy announced after the final in Marseille.
Very good. If you want weird food combinations, by the way, it's just come back to me.
Oh no.
My mum, and we loved it. Cooked eggs, admittedly. I'd say boiled and then kind of mashed up with Weetabix. Did you ever come across that?
And milk?
No.
Or just
raw
meat?
eggs and Weetabix. Massive thing in our house for, I'd say...
What?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't know, we seemed to like it, and it was probably good for
a
you.
hard-boiled egg, and then scoop out the egg, mash it on top of Weetabix.
Yeah, mix it all up.
Oof. What? That's vile.
It sounds a bit dry in hindsight, doesn't it?
Could try that out.
No, I'm not going to try that out.
I must check with her, did she put something else in? Because it sounds like it'd be so dry.
That sounds like one
How
of
do
the
you
worst.
even eat it?
With a spoon in a bowl.
I know, but
It wouldn't jump out at you now as an obvious combination.
Claggy is the word I can come across.
like
there.
if ever there was an 80s breakfast,
Yes.
that's it.
I know, it totally is.
No, if there's an 80s breakfast, it's just Weetabix on its own.
Look,
Throwing an egg on top of it is just weird.
I distinctly remember going, come in, lunch, what are we having? Eggs and Weetabix. Yay!
Were you lacking in something that your mother needed to somehow get egg into you?
So many things. No, there you go, beat that.
Wow.
Yeah,
we
no,
can.
it's nice.
Beat that, eggs, get it?
Right.
Well done, Joe.
We're going to park all that nonsense, understandably, and we're going to talk very seriously under the circumstances. And as you can imagine, to the ringers John Gonzalez, Kobe Bryant, dead aged 41. We're talking about that next.
Off the ball on News Talk.
At Lexus, we have always anticipated the future, relentlessly pushing the boundaries of beautiful design and innovative technology, so you're ready for what's ahead. Introducing the new Lexus ES. Our executive saloon combines powerful, self-charging hybrid technology with an exceptional driving experience and the luxury that you expect from a Lexus. Test drive the new ES at your Lexus retailer and choose from a range of flexible payment options. Lexus. Experience amazing.
For a limited time only, get Air's totally unlimited broadband for just $39.99 a month for 12 months. Sign up today and you'll also get Amazon Prime Video on us for a whole year. Watch thousands of popular movies, TV episodes, and award-winning Amazon originals. Plus, you'll get the free Air Sport Pack. For more on this amazing offer, call 1-800-500-300, go in store, or visit air.ie. Air. Let's make possible. Price for new customers, 12-month contract, subject to availability. Bundle activation fee may apply. For full details and terms, see air.ie/Prime Video.
Have a great evening with itsforwomen.ie. Don't live your life on hold. Get a quote now at itsforwomen.ie and see why we're trusted by over 130,000 women in Ireland.
The Far East.
The Wild West.
Catching the Big Five.
Seeing the Northern Lights.
Travelling the Southern Hemisphere.
Iconic places.
Unexpected experiences.
Trafalgar, simply the best guided holidays across 7 continents. Enjoy an immersive trip with sightseeing highlights, lots of meals, 4- and 5-star centrally located hotels, and much more. Book and pay for your worldwide trip by February 27th and you'll save 10% off. Sunway, your holiday, your way. Visit sunway.ie or your local travel agent. Terms and conditions apply.
The big 2020 save from Lidl brings you loads of